Boom.
Okay, the manifestation has become the reality. I'm staring at the UFC World Championship belt.
He called it.
It's surreal, eh? And then the whole team is just sitting here looking at me.
We have the UFC Welterweight Champion of the world in the building.
Yeah, super surreal. So we, I guess, yeah, it's good though because we sort of said we'd do it, and it seems crazy, I guess, before it happens. But I guess it all makes us look a little less crazy. Yeah.
And Josh, first time on the pod.
First time.
And
on
Ryan?
the pod. Grim Reapers.
Happening, boys.
Della's
Two guys, one mic.
Della's brother. What's the age gap?
2 years. I'm 2 years older than Jack.
2 years older.
Yeah.
And Ryan, how much older are you?
4. How old are you?
96, I was born.
I'm 92, so 4 years.
4 years older. And what year are you, Benny?
1991. 46. 1980.
I'm older than you.
Year that God made. What do you mean? Why do you say it so surprisingly like that?
I thought
They're just
you were
wrinkles, mate. We don't all fucking go surfing every day, you know what I mean?
Mate, you missed out on the 70s, I'm telling you.
We're on. How good is this?
What did you get, a year of them?
Yeah. What's he? 84?
87.
87.
Hey.
Hey, yeah.
This is elite. So it's a pretty young team then.
It is.
They've done it. Wise. A lot of fighting experience.
Yeah.
Benny, you've
100%.
moulded these boys.
Yeah, we've been at this for with the boys, I was with them for all their fight careers. And now, obviously, Jack's still got a fight career. And the boys have, taken a step back from their own fight careers. And now they're my, right-hand men, if you like. And, it's been nice to watch the evolution and have two guys that I couldn't trust more, you know what I mean, to help me and help Jack, achieve everything that we've gone on to achieve, not just with Jack, but with the gym and the team and everything. These boys are, as I've said many times, they're like the glue that binds it all together. And yeah, I'm very blessed to have these two fellas.
Yeah, having good people around is part of it, part of the sport. I don't know, I've looked up to Ben since I met him. So
Look down.
You're pretty tall.
Yeah. But it's all about having good people around us, like Ryan as well. Ryan was coaching us at the start while he was still a fighter fighting for championships.
Yeah, I remember getting to the gym and then obviously Ryan was fighting, and then I remember we were pretty fresh, and then Ryan was going over east to fight, and we just remember thinking that was the coolest.
That's the coolest
thing ever.
Do you remember who you were fighting over East?
Yeah, a few of them, yeah. It was good fun. I loved fighting over East.
Yeah.
It's good memories over there.
And do you prefer, which side of the ring do you prefer to be on, coaching or fighting? Would you miss it or?
A little bit, but not really. It's when you see Jack get in there and have a fucking fight with Belal, it's like, whoa.
You're glad you're that side?
Look at Bilal's face, but
Dude.
yeah, it was wild.
Could you see that lip from the corner, or is it once the photos come out after? Or
I think that was pretty late in the fight, around 5.
was it that knee?
Yeah. No, it was a couple of elbows. It was one of an elbow. I think the knee got him right across the
You
eye.
rolled and then elbow.
Was that a tooth? Was that the tooth? Was that actually a tooth? Remember people ended up that slow-mo shot of something come out of his mouth? Was that confirmed if he lost a tooth?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Something flew off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Something definitely went flying across the...
Yeah.
I remember a couple times you whacking him and seeing you see slow motion, that in fast, you're going whack and the blood just splattering. A couple times when he was close and he was on the cage, you were whacking him.
Yeah.
That was such a sick fight. We spoke about it, obviously straight away after. I grew so much more respect for Belal too, because he fucking showed some pretty tough attributes, eh? It was a proper war. People were saying, they never thought they'd see Belal in a fun fight, but you made him look
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah. No, it was a good dance part.
But yeah, he was tough, and we thought he'd be tough.
Yeah.
He didn't falter from what he was doing. There was times where he was it looked like he was just coming forward and confused, getting whacked, but he was I'm coming forward, I'm coming, and he just didn't change what he was doing, but he was he was gonna keep doing it.
But I guess me and Ryan talked about it, and Ryan told me a few times, he was like, this guy's gonna be tough because of his religious sort of mindset, you know?
Yeah.
Just thinking how a Muslim person
He's representing
have such,
much more than himself.
faith, yeah. So we knew he'd be tough, and you only seen the people that have finished him have pretty much knocked him out cold.
Yeah.
Luke knocked him out cold, and I think that was the only way you could probably stop him.
And that's not an easy feat. I think Jack's run into some chins in his career, like Basil Hafez, Ange Lusa, and now Belal. I think most fighters in the top 10 get knocked out by a lot of those shots. You know?
Oh, yeah, that knee was freaking...
And even if they don't get knocked out, they're discouraged. But Belal never seemed discouraged. Like, he seemed confused and a bit lost. I don't think...
but he wasn't going to falter.
I think he was in a nightmare. I don't think he thought this was going to happen to him. I don't think there'd been a world where he'd envisaged what was happening. Like, I think he thought he could take Jack down at will. I think he thought he could outstrike him. I think all of these things. And then when you're in there and it's not happening...
And your
it's a
tooth's
shit
flying
spot.
out the corner of the ring, and then your lip's in half. Because imagine, you know when you just get a small fat lip, it feels like you put your tongue on it? He would have just felt like a massive vagina or something.
He could have OnlyFans going. It was almost like some people would subscribe to look at that.
Have you talked to him at all since the fight? Any messages,
It's
seen
funny,
him? Or
The only thing I've ever said to him is, I'm going to fuck you up, bitch. That's the only thing I've ever said to him.
facts?
Manny a word again.
Wow.
And then Benny, you went viral like straight away. I had goosebumps though when there was that round 4 pep talk, obviously, and then Whitey put that mass equation together. That video, it was just poetically perfect. Like, the right messaging and bang on your brand.
But yeah, it's just normal. Like for us, like anyone that's been with me for a while, they've been spoken to like that by me
I
before.
was wondering how many gems have gone unrecorded.
Yeah, you could go back and like that. It's soon as we
I've got
saw
another
it, it's
one,
like that was
like,
pretty
recorded.
normal.
Like when Darcy was fighting and I went fucking berserk. You know? My voice gets really high pitched. This one, it didn't go high pitched because
Oh, you were so
I
calm.
felt pretty like the whole fight. For me, it was a weird scenario because normally I'm super anxious cage side, but the whole week I wasn't really anxious. I was most anxious about Josh not getting in than anything else. But during the fight and everything, I was just enjoying it. Like everything was going so well. I felt Jack was completely in control. I mean, the judging, I don't know what the fuck they were watching, but for me it was 5-0 at the end. But we want to finish, so that's always in our mind, and I'm always going to encourage the guys, which is good in this case because it was 2-2. Like, but I didn't know that. But I'm always going to encourage you to go out and use the last of the gas in your tank and push forward because I think when you don't, that's when you get fucked.
Yeah.
So,
did you have anything left, Jack, for another round, or were you fucked?
I was actually all right. I was obviously right after the final exchange. I was pretty fucked, but I reckon like another minute, I was actually all right. I could probably do. I was thinking I
You
could
did
probably
say I
do
could do
another
another
round.
5 rounds.
another
That
few
is
rounds.
crazy. Because that's
I
your
felt
first
alright.
5 rounds.
Yeah.
eh?
You did
First
say
5
that I could
rounds.
do another 5 rounds.
How good is that knowing that you can do that in like, oh man, it's freaking incredible.
But we tried. I had no doubt that I'd be able to put together 5 rounds.
Really?
To be honest, I was like,
You have no self-doubt.
I-
Man,
I
I'll just do a
thought
5K run and I wonder if I'm going to make
we
it.
used,
Well,
to
how
do
many rounds?
14, we used to do 14 live drilling rounds, 5 minutes on a Wednesday afternoon. So it's just another Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
We stopped doing that because it's kind of, you get to a point where it's just a mindset thing and it's not really a technical thing.
Toughness
But
or
the fact that you know you can do that, 5 isn't so bad. You know?
Yeah.
When you and these are wrestling days, so we're talking about going straight live wrestling exchanges. There's no breaks. It's like you wrestle, I wrestle, live. So 5-5s when you get to sort of be in some sort of control of the pace is definitely within all the boys.
Was there a factor, because were you on antibiotics just before?
yeah, I was.
Was there a worry with that?
I was just. I mean, I just didn't. I just tried to block it out. I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's
You
one of
might
those
just wanted
ones
to
that
get over there, eh? Like you had that thing.
Yeah.
You
I
just-
mean, yeah. I feel like I don't know. Yeah, I've not really. I just tried to block it out. I was like, it's just a mindset. Eh?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Can you notice training a physical difference when you're on antibiotics compared to not? Or
I feel, but yeah, I think so. But I don't know how much of it is like implicit, like in your head. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes
okay.
you just feel, oh, I'm so tired. It could just be in your head. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But you got to think, even just having like whatever the antibiotics is trying to kill, surely that would be slowing you down as well.
Yep. Yep.
So then it's just sort of, yeah.
Were you boys like there living in the corner and then you obviously in the fire, Jay? Were you thinking the same like, at the time that you were up 4-0 at least? Because watching it, we were like, you guys clearly at least have, if not 3 rounds to 1 going to the last, but you could argue 4-0. Were you actually thinking that at live time? Yeah.
100%.
So
That's what I thought.
you must have been fucking surprised when they were saying it was
When they
2-2.
said 48,
Like,
47, I actually shit myself.
Yeah.
Thought, we're getting robbed here.
were you
Like,
thinking that, Jack? Because you're
how
in
the
it. You're the one laying the damage. You
I
know.
was thinking I was in control most of the time. I was still sort of asking that. I would ask the boys at the end. I was like, do you reckon we won? Because I feel like you're sort of so in the zone. But I definitely felt in control. And I was definitely thinking, like, sure, like,
More damage.
I felt fully in control every round, more damage. Like, outside of the puffy eye, I was fine.
Yeah.
And the knuckles, surely.
They were a bit sore, but they all, I think, all good.
Yeah.
Just sore.
Because it was pretty crazy, like, to go through that. And then I saw you on Ariel a few days later. I don't know, maybe they had a bit of makeup, but you just look
No, there was no
No,
makeup.
mate.
Literally,
You just look
3-4
fine.
days.
I was
It was
like,
just
what the hell is
solid.
going
I think it was just a good. He landed a good shot. Right.
Was it the
on
elbow?
I don't know for sure,
He
but that
just
just.
poke as well because his,
could have
his
been- I
fingers
don't
went in
know.
your eye at one point in that ground.
But it was it was pretty puff. But then it wasn't bad. It was like 3-4 days. It was pretty much just like a bit of a black eye.
Yeah. And how about, obviously, your first fight since you broke your
It was
arm?
it was a bit sore, but it was as expected, I guess. Like first solid impact on it.
Yeah.
Sort of expecting it to be a bit tender, but like it's pretty good.
Do you have to go get scans or anything to
Yeah,
check
got
on
some
it?
scans in Canada after the fight, and it was all pretty good.
Yeah.
So just like giving it a little bit of rest.
Wait, how funny is it how it's all sort of on your terms now? Like, in a way of like, you just ruined everyone's plans around like this, like, this lightweight fight. and
Just
it's
go
like-
back to the court. Just the one thing on the fight and how it was going. I think the way you tell is watch the two corners, right? We're cool, calm, and collected, following a game plan, happy with the way everything's going. And there's a bit more franticness in their corner. They're talking about finishing the fight. He's talking about how he can't get hold of Jack. And for me, like that's where you tell is like that the two experts of the two groups of experts in that fight, other than the two dudes doing it, are the dudes in the corner, right? Because we do this every day, and we knew we was in control. Like we felt all the way through, and everyone knows if we're not, I'm going to tell you, like you're behind, like like we did with Gilbert.
Yeah.
So, and then they were frantic. They were like, "You got to go out. Let's get a finish." Like going out for round 4, they were pushing him to finish the fight and stuff like that. And so I think that's where you get it from. And then
Yeah.
most of the judges in the media scored it 49-46.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked obvious. I've watched it back a few times, and it was. I think it surprised everyone when they were saying it was 2-2 because everyone thought it looked like dominant performance.
But that's a good thing to remember.
Yes.
It's like you do not know what fucking score it is. Like even with Kevin Holland, I thought Jack beat Kevin Holland 3-0, and someone gave it to Kevin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't know what you're watching. And I think we understood that after a couple of the fights. We were like, fucking hell. Like maybe we don't score it the same way as these dudes do.
Did you think watching it back with the commentary, they were a little bit biased and saying it just seemed like they were giving Belal some stuff that he didn't quite deserve, in my opinion?
Yeah, I think sometimes when someone's doing so badly, when they start doing better, they get more props than they deserve just because they've pulled themselves up. Like, I think he never sort of took the driver's seat, but because he, in the 4th and 5th, I felt like fair play to him. He found a couple of extra gears in the 4th and 5th because for the first 3 rounds, I felt he was lost. And I think, you can sometimes like give credit to someone for coming back and getting themselves into the fight, even if they're not winning.
Yeah. Like they have to hype up any little thing that happens. So, yeah.
And John Anik's his mate, you know, so he's always going to lean, like, however much he wants to talk about being impartial, it's hard when it's your mate.
Yeah.
They're good mates. So DC's a fucking wrestling guy, and Dom Cruz is a wrestling guy. So they're all like going to be a bit biased towards the wrestler. They always have been.
I feel like
And they-
DC's really come around to Jack, like being possibly a bit critical at the start, but now he does give you good props, hey?
How can you not?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, how can you not?
And obviously Rogan, every time I hear Rogan talk about it, he's a big fan, eh?
And Luke Thomas, like,
Yeah.
he's been a fan from way back, hey? You're striking and
It's pretty cool. You must notice in the media because like you're so involved in the sport, you see all the different people talking. Like when you see someone like Luke Thomas or someone actually back you in. I remember Sugar's coach, Timbo, was backing you, Burns. Like you must like real recognise real. When you see that, you must appreciate it, eh?
Yeah, it is real cool. I feel like it is cool.
If you're a proper fight fan, like if you're into fights and you're doing it, watch Jack Styles like the best to watch in a way. Like
Yeah.
he's proper throwing hands, like using both stances, moving his head.
You
he
get
can
the
wrestle.
old school vibe as well. Like
Yeah.
if you're an old school boxer, you still get
Love it.
like
And when was a boring Jack fight? Like probably the most technical one was the Kevin fight. But I mean, he's a really hard guy to fight, right? And most people only beat him on the ground. You know, if it stays standing, he normally wins. But other than that, he's got 6 out of 8 bonuses. Who doesn't want to watch that
is that
kind
the
of
stat?
MMA?
6 of 8.
And it seems to be that purist that like loves that sort of old school UFC fighter that what you're bringing and being champion. They want to see that from a brand point of view. Because even your interview post fight with that chick, and you were like, I don't want to be a celebrity. Like fighters want to be a celebrity. I just want to fight. Like I think people go, fuck yeah, we love that.
He had the belt, and they're like, "What does the belt mean to you?" And he said something like that, and Jack was like, "Oh, it's not really about the belt; it's about the fight." And they're all just like, "Wow." And it's like in Jack's head, it's just like almost it's one step at a time. Like it's not like he just clicked his fingers overnight and then he had this. It's like every fight's like a stepping stone to the next.
Yeah.
thing.
To someone from the outside, looks like a quick
It looks
rise,
like a
but
quick
you've been
rise,
in the
but it's
gym
not.
for so
He's
many.
been doing it like
Yeah.
since Eternal. It's like he's had you look at like UFC is different to Eternal, but it's still like every fight was like the next hard fight, the next hard fight, the next hard fight.
And that's like this Makhachev one, and then once that passes, then it's the next one.
Yeah,
and it's,
It never ends.
Yeah.
Even Ryan, from a coaching point of view, I remember the week before you flew out and we were down at Scrappy and I was just chatting to you and just something that stuck with me from a coaching point of view. And you said that you've seen Jack and you're like, I've seen a lot of people come into this gym and start from all different ages. I've never seen talent like this. And you guys were so certain on, what you've got. And I just think I can relate to that. Like obviously in sport, you do know when a 1% comes because there's amazing fighters and there's amazing athletes. But when you get that person that you go, then they stand out from the rest of them. You've got someone special. They don't come around often.
No, they
really when you said that, I was like, when you said it, you just believed it so much. And it hasn't surprised any of you guys. You guys are probably the least surprised in the world right now.
No, 100%. It's funny how many messages I've gotten in the last couple of days or couple of weeks saying like, I remember you telling me about Jack and about how he's going to be a world champion. And it's like, yep.
Yeah.
Like this is how it was going to go.
Yeah, it's such a crazy thing to say to people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, of course it is." But they sort of like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone
But
says
you're like,
that.
"No, we will. Though. We actually will."
No,
Look at me now.
and it's like we don't say this about everybody. When a guy comes in and has got everything. Because it doesn't happen. It's when it does, you're like, "Yep." And I always thought like if Jack doesn't become a world champion, then I don't know who can. You know what I mean? Because he's got everything. So, the best martial artist I've ever seen. He's like a savant. So, we've got one of our black belt coaches, Pablo. He's one of the best in the country. When he rolls a Jack, he might get him once and then never again with the same thing ever. And then eventually Jack's doing it back to Pablo, and it's blowing Pablo's mind. So it's things like that where you're like. And people don't even know how good his grappling is yet. So.
I've been wrapped up by Pablo more times than I'd like.
Me too.
I don't think there's a man in Perth that can't say that. Maybe I'm Jack.
But that's what I was laughing at, as I said before, that how you just came in and ruined all these like plans of people that wanted to see the fight. But it was not a surprise to us. But maybe we were a bit too close to the sun. But we were saying Jack's going to do this. Yeah. But like a lot of the pundits are going like, oh, they're already looking ahead at that Topuria fight and Makhachev, and then.
I felt Belal was looking ahead. Like every interview I listened to, you never really spoke much about Jack, and it was always about the ramifications of his win and where he was going to go next. And I felt like he massively overlooked Jack, and I feel like at the back end, now when we analyses what's going on, he has give Jack no credit. Just said he did the wrong thing. Like
he hasn't really said too much at all, has he?
He did one interview with his bestie, John Anik, and Jason Anik, who's his actual best mate, the twin brothers. And Belal never mentioned Jack's name once in the whole interview, which annoyed me because he never shook his hand after the fight, and I sort of wrote that off to concussion and being in a shit state after the fight. And you should shake someone's hand after a war like that. Do you know what I mean? And you should share a bit of mutual respect. And then to not even give Jack any flowers like post-fight, I feel like it's a really bad mentality to have, because he's not going to take away any of the mistakes he made. He just thinks he on the next day will beat Jack the way he was supposed to this time. And I think it's a terrible learning mentality. We take a lot away in victory. Do you know what I mean? To improve and to work on for the next fight. And we all, I think Jack's very good at giving his opponents the respect they deserve, and maybe the rest of us don't. But
and especially if he ever wants like a rematch or whatever, like you're holding the cards now. Like
he's going to fight Shavkat.
That's what you want.
That could be a horrendous fight for him to have, backing up off a fight where he took a load of damage.
Oh, Bilal's going to fight.
Yeah.
October, hey? They're saying October.
There's a great fight and fair play to him. Like, talk about jumping straight back on the horse. Like, let's get the next. But I think that's the only way he gets the title shot next. Because Shavkat should be next in line. Jack wants to fight Shavkat.
Yeah.
I think if Islam wasn't coming up, Jack would fight Shavkat.
Yeah.
Because he's been calling for that in this room since
You
They
called,
dot.
you called that before you even did the Contender Series. You were saying it on our podcast. You said you wanted to shove him.
I don't know why. I've always just thought he was like, I guess, I could just say I thought he'd be good. So I've always was like pushing for that.
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, and it's cool to think that all the way back then, if I ever thought I'd be fighting him, but I'd be the champion, I'd just be like, wow, that's fucking awesome. Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's sick. Yeah.
Chasing him,
I
and
didn't
now
think
he's
about
chasing you.
Yeah, now he's chasing you. It's
Yeah.
I
crazy
didn't
how
think
it
about
works,
that.
eh?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I was wondering how many
It's crazy.
drinks you indulged in that night. Like, how big of a celebration are we talking?
We had a good. I mean, normally I don't drink heaps. Some nights, definitely. Some nights after a quick one, I've drank too much and I just regret it because you just were. But this time I didn't drink much. It was good. We had a good time. Like,
What ballpark? We
must
like
have had
2 to 10 drinks.
a couple, like maybe 10. No, they're probably less than that actually. Maybe 2 or 3 shots of tequila and then maybe like 3 beers.
Yeah.
How much
4
wine
beers.
did you drink, Ryan?
Well, it was,
Like, why did you vomit?
Wine grey.
and Ben, you've been sober for some time. Did the thought cross your mind? Like,
Nah, not at all. I was just like trying to.
Get these cunts out of my
I
head.
was trying to kick everyone out.
Did I see Count Dracula though? He had 2 joints as fangs.
No comment.
And maybe nude. Did I see you nude or something?
Maybe that was a
Did Benny
private
Vickers come
DM. No, I literally spent my time like in my room, and then when it was too loud in my room, I'd go on the roof, and then when everyone came on the roof, I'd go back. I'm not good in crowds, especially when I'm being an alcoholic. Like being around drunk,
Yeah.
is not.
and
the
you were
boys-
still been trying to process what the hell just happened.
And
eh?
the boys like had been drinking for us since 6
It was late.
6
By the time
p.m.
we got back,
There
it was
3.
it was 3 a.m.
Something. So
and Craig was there.
yeah, but Craig was pretty like. Craig, I
Craig's
don't
cool.
think
He's
is what
pretty-
you think he is. Do you know what I mean? He's pretty switched on. I think he's used to partying, so he's not.
Bradshaw looked like he was a bit sore the next day. Eh?
He's not good at drinking that.
Brody, he would have had a few.
Brody, like
Always went hard.
the week got to Brody, he looked a shadow of himself. When I seen him.
Tell him about your other mate, the pharmacist. That
The boys had fun.
you gotta tell him the quote.
No comment, eh?
What happens in Montreal?
Montreal's a crazy place. Like we're driving around. The basically crackheads would play a prank on you, and they'd walk up to you. They'd ask you. They'd pull a prank, and they'd ask you to borrow a lighter. Yeah, you can borrow a lighter, and then they'd literally pull out a loaded crack pipe and just proceed to smoke a crack pipe.
then you just
and then
kick
you be
the
like, oh, kick the lighter. So,
Is that their plan?
It's like a prank
did it
because it's
to
like
us.
in Montreal. I don't think it's obviously not illegal to do drugs on the street. So
What?
It's like a prank or.
I just got my first crack pipe. Someone left one in my Airbnb.
Was he Canadian?
Oh, no way.
Like a used one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they had to boot these dudes the other day.
Wow.
Nuts, but
Yeah,
I'll,
that
I'll
looks
tell you
hefty.
about that later.
But like it was like like a sooted like glass.
Yeah.
It was
Hot.
disgusting.
Just casually smoking a bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm an
Seen
owner.
it
I
a
know.
few times. Happened to us literally first day,
And then it's fucking odd place.
And what with this wine story? How many bottles of wine did you consume?
How many did we buy? I think
Well,
it was
like,
3
went to
bottles of
go
wine.
we went to go and buy drinks for an after party, so I got a bottle of tequila. and
Set the
then-
scene. Is this like a servo? What's the go over there? Or
Well, it's
shot?
weird to buy drinks. It's not like you roll up to like a 7-Eleven and just buy drinks. It was like they had kush tarts, I think they were called, and it was like you couldn't really buy like proper alcohol. Then you could buy like beers, but you couldn't buy liquor. So we had to we cruised around, found a liquor store. I bought a bottle of tequila, and Ryan bought 3 bottles of red wine for
Shiraz
an
or
after party.
Wine grey.
I don't mind a glass of red, eh?
What reds did you get?
I don't know. I just got it today.
That is
I
the
just
best.
like
You
it.
don't even
We
know.
got home and I was like, Ryan, are you seriously going to think 3 bottles of red wine at the after party? How do you think that's going to go for? And it was funny because at about 6 a.m. he just bowled past with his wine glass in his hand to the toilet with wine glass in hand, fucking threw up all his red wine. It's not really a told you so moment, but
They said one of the mates said, I can't wait for Jack to fight. And they go, he fought 5 days ago. That's when you know you're having a good time. You remember. Who was the old mate that was like was going to jump in the ice bath? I thought Craig Jones was filming him, and it was like the never-ending like.
Basically, we were in the I think Balks was in the ice bath. So I don't know. We when we go away, we've always got someone that's like we kick the shit out of him. Balks was a good guy. He's there like masseuse, so he does all the massages. So he come away with us, and he was just lowest on the pecking order. So everyone was.
You got it.
And then basically, like we were drinking, so he did something. So he was like, "You're getting in the ice bath." Someone made him get in the ice bath, and then Finn's come up to me. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it." And he's taking his pants off. "Yeah, I'm going to do it." I was like, "What are you doing, Finn?" And Finn's like, proceeded to get naked. And then he's jumped on Balks and like put him in a guillotine. And then he's just like,
in the ice bath.
In the ice bath. And he's basically just sucked his cock like, onto his chest. And he's like, you could just see his ass like clenched. He's taking him out in the ice bath.
First submission in an ice
And that was
bath.
about when Ben came in and was like, "All right, get out."
Did you witness it?
No, I didn't see that part. I saw another choking that happened later on, and I was a bit like, this is going to get out of hand, and someone's going to get hurt, and not
So
tonight.
like then Ben, it was like basically like, all right, start trying to get, because it was like there's a lot of people around and everyone's drinking, and then it was like, all right, we needed to start getting people out of the party. So I'd go up to someone like, all right, it's time to leave, and they're like, all right, I'll start kicking people out with you. So it was like everyone you'd ask, who like thought they were part of the inner circle, and then it was like hard to leave, and then it was everyone was just hanging around, and then yeah, I think like Dan was just standing there, and Finn's grabbed him a headlock, and then
No, but it was like a week of like Bradshaw doing Bradshaw things, like calling him little fella and fucking patronising him. I think Finn
Finn's
just had
like army spec, eh?
yeah, and just an absolute weapon.
weapon.
So yeah, then he jumped on Bradshaw, and I was like, "This is gonna get out of hand." Like, and it's 7 a.m, and it's been a great fucking 24 hours. Let's not mar it with a fucking serious assault happening. Yeah. So
No, it
So then
sounds
I
like
just-
Jack's been stripped.
got all head teachery and fucking kicked.
Did
everyone
ya?
out.
But I was just on we had like a rooftop like terrace thing, and I was just up there. I don't know who was there. We were just chatting for a bit, and then walked down, and there was like 30 to 40 people in there. Walked down. Must have been up there for a while, but walked down, it was just empty.
Cleared them out.
But that was like one of the best. Like I thought that was the best. Everyone left, and then we were still like
Just,
awake enough to like.
7:30.
It was just us four. 7:30 in the morning. Sun's coming up, and we watched Jack's fight again.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
I literally walked out of the bathroom after throwing up, and I was like so ready for bed, and they were like, "We're gonna watch the fight again." I was like, "All right, let's do it." Like,
Crack another bottle.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Where's the red wine?
Oscar made sure that there was no red wine left. There was, yeah. I
He had
put all
quite
of
the time, didn't he?
the wine into this big thing, and then just before, I heard somebody be like, "Oscar, you got to drink the rest of that red wine in there," and there was still like 1.5 liters of wine in there. So I just quickly poured another glass and then gave it back to him, and he just fucking everything.
Spilled more of it on the floor than he
Spilled
put
it
in
on the
his
floor.
mouth.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oscar,
Oscar,
one of your
Taylor
boys.
Povey, yeah.
Kind of Povey.
Yeah, because you had the whole crew. You had like all the boys, obviously, bro. Did Dodsey go?
Nah, Dodgy didn't go, but the boy, yeah, a few of the boys did. There was probably like 6 to 7 of like my mate, like outside of gym mates that were there, and then there was a good gym crew. But there must have been like 40 people there at one point.
Because we had some of the gym crew as well.
gym
right
crew.
It was cool.
When you watch it back, does it look how it felt, or is it like you?
Yeah, I felt I was like pretty present in there and pretty controlled. And I like remember a lot of it.
But do you ever see anything? You're like, oh, I forgot that, and then you
There
you
is some
remember
stuff like that, and then you sort of remember glimpses of it, and then just as there's some things I feel like I could have done better, but I guess next time we'll make it happen, you know.
Yeah,
But I feel like that's what the fight game's about. It's about like decisions, you know, and like little decisions make the biggest differences, you know.
yeah.
You know, I saw your video in the lead up, and I thought it was like a real crazy sort of thought you had that's kind of played out, like gut feeling about when you two were chatting and you were talking about like you never really felt like that London card was going to happen, or you never felt you couldn't envision that fight with Leon. Like,
It just was like,
did you have a
yeah.
feeling that something was going to happen at the final hour, or
So I don't know. It was that weird feel. I just didn't really have like.
You were training for it, and we were training for it, and it was like, I don't know. It had a weird. It
Just
all
wasn't
planned
like
out.
that.
It all worked out how it kind of in
Meant to
vision.
be, yeah.
Yeah, how it was meant to be.
I felt like the week was good because we were kind of wandering around like we knew something everyone else didn't. Like, I felt super confident all week, and I felt like we were being written off completely by most. And it was just like, do these people even know this game at all? Like, to underestimate Jack and to think that he doesn't know how to wrestle after 12 years in the game, you know, and that his jiu-jitsu's not good enough. It's fucking insane to me. Just because he can bang people out and he prefers
he can punch.
to knock people out. Like,
That's perfect though.
he's
isn't
a
it?
well-rounded
And still, like, I feel
individual.
like, you know, some people you see their whole game on tape and you can study for them or whatever. I still feel like no one even knows Jack's game, like because it's
You're
not
right.
even getting down to that.
Yeah,
It's just
you're
like
right.
fisticuffs.
But it's kind of cool spot, right? To be in. Just we're wandering around confident, and everyone thinks we're mad. Like,
I feel like, we were so written off. So many people like doubt, like there's no way. But then the more I saw more people being like that, I was like, I've seen this happen. Like I've seen this before. Like whenever you count someone out, like they normally win.
Yeah.
That's how I thought. So I was like, yeah, this is
And
a done deal.
I love Burns. Like everyone's such a big fan of Burns, hey. But
Yeah.
to hear him, I was thinking, because like I sometimes, because obviously I want you to win, I'm like, am I tripping? But then when you hear the one guy that's fought both people, and he's even saying, yeah, I'll give the edge to Jack, you're like, well, let's go.
Yeah, he's literally shared the cage with him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Even if they've done their homework as well, like you look at guys like Joe Lopez and Volker, and they were talking so highly of it, and you've obviously trained a lot with them. But Joe, I saw an interview a few months ago, I think we were chatting about it, Ben, where, I don't know, it might have been Submission Radio, but Joe Lopez was singing your praise, and Ben's as well. And like, they don't just say things for the sake of it just because you're Australian. You know what I mean? They don't have to say that.
No.
So like, there was a lot of guys that have a wealth of knowledge that have gone, Jack's the fucking real deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, just felt the American audience were a bit dismissive.
Yeah.
it's going to be the same as well coming into this next one. Like everyone doesn't believe Jack can beat
Yeah.
Islam. He's the mythical unicorn, you know. But
Where are
Okay.
we thinking that's going to happen and when? Do you have any sort of more?
I think it'll be in the US. Probably October, November.
Is October Cali? Is that Cali or Vegas? Are they saying?
It was. I think it's all. I think it was meant. They were meant to have Mexican pay-per-view, but it's all changed. I think it's like early October in Vegas.
Yeah, okay. And then November's still Madison Square Garden. Hey, that's
Yeah.
always So you think it might be October around then?
I reckon.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Would they do? Do you reckon that would be because Shafkat would be on that, or would they ever do that as co-main?
They
Like,
could. Yeah, that'd be
'cause
pretty.
that's
That'd
like-
be sick. That'd be real cool.
It'd be smart too, hedging bets in case there's an injury or anything changes.
Yeah.
So is that all bull? Like all those rumors around that fight card for Perth? Remember they were saying it was going to be June originally. People were saying then it was September, and then now there's obviously no one's heard anything. There's clearly no pay-per-view coming to Perth.
It's just there's an event. It's just a fight night.
Yeah, so they're still doing that.
I'm pretty sure it's still happening.
That'd work better for Perth though, because if it's a fight night, wouldn't it be like a Friday night or a Saturday
They
night?
would do it. Yeah, they'll do it. They would.
Oh,
That's
they
what
do
they
it.
said.
Oh,
Yeah, they
so
do
they
it
do it on the
Saturday.
timeline
They'll
that
do
suits.
it. It'd be like primetime Perth time.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty cool, like a night fight.
And it will sell out regardless. People just want to
100%.
go
People
watch
love
it.
it.
So
I don't think it would detract anyone in Perth if it was not a pay-per-view.
nah, no way. Like
Imagine
England,
they got
same-
like-
they-
Like you'd
England
have
may
heaps
show
of
out.
Aussies on a. It'd be a fight in on a Friday night or something. People love it.
Yeah,
Saturday
Imagine if you
night.
get like Izzy on it.
Yeah,
Boom, that's a massive fight.
Quill,
Yeah.
Cody, Jack
Yeah.
Jenkins,
Yeah, all those
Steve
guys. They're all
Ursi.
sick.
yeah.
And people
Cody,
that are in the
yeah.
know, they're into it. And if people aren't in the know, they just want to watch UFC, so
Yeah.
they'll go.
And the atmosphere's sick. Like when that Randy Brown fight, that was so loud.
that was
Even
so mad.
that last one, obviously you won on it, but like when Hooker won, how nuts for everyone
Yeah,
going.
that was
Like,
It's sick.
it'd be good to fight in front of that if you're a Aussie. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
it's fight not a pay per view.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think it changes anything.
Do you know what's so good? Because you got the main event. They actually showed the TNT walkout.
Oh yeah.
Because I think for the Perth card when you fought Randy Brown, they didn't show the music, did they? When you walked out, we were at that event, but I don't think they showed it on the broadcast.
They definitely muted.
They
it.
mute the song,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, probably
Whereas like this one, and everyone, because like everyone's frothing that song choice, like Luke Thomas and everyone saying they were saying it's one of the most badass walks now.
Yeah.
You're,
It was, man. It was pretty. It was
yeah,
fucking
that's good for them to
wild.
see it, like recognise it.
Yeah, that was a good moment out of the walk.
That
Always
walkout was
Right, that was
insane.
hectic.
That was insane.
The stoicism,
pretty,
just like so casual.
It was more so insane than RAC even, like being in Perth town, like, because it was like 50% was like, yes, Jack, 50% was like, fucking,
Really?
Yeah.
Was it loud? Like real loud?
loud.
It was aggressive too.
Aggressive,
abuse.
like
we
fucking
were getting
swearing
screamed
at
abuse
us.
at
Yeah.
us, sworn at. Like It was
Why?
hectic.
Oh, Bilal supporters.
Yeah, like
But
there was a lot of Palestinian
flags.
flags.
Really?
Like Palestinian
One of
flags.
the-
Face and all that.
One of the boys, obviously he spent a decent amount of money, a good ticket, came from Perth, and he got kicked out in the second round of the live fight. He got into a fight with a Palestinian guy.
Yeah, two of them. You
Yeah.
just punched two.
But they were aggressive, eh?
And
They
did
were all aggressive.
the Palestinian dudes get kicked out too, or just
Yeah.
him?
Everybody.
Round two.
No. Wonder if
did
the
he win?
screens outside or anything for him to watch.
I don't know. I don't actually
didn't
know.
have
the
any
fight.
damage.
There was?
3-0.
We're claiming it.
Shit. So it was pretty like tense in there.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It was a
hostile.
hectic atmosphere. It was very aggressive, like way more aggressive than normal.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like that made it cool.
Were your parents frothing?
Yeah, they were stoked. Yeah, loved it, eh? Stoked.
They'd be like because they've been there the journey since you started. Like, that's what's wild. But I remember we talked about it again. But I'll never forget the eternal early days of the Italian club, and your dad led us into
On the stage.
his family area, and how he was chatting. We were just chatting about does he get nervous watching you boys both fight? He was like, just looks at it as a rugby game to get through, like process
To
it.
get
Eh?
through it.
But it's insane, like the amount of parent hours they put into the kids. and-
Yeah. He was always full support of us fighting and would buy the stage and buy tickets for all his mates and
suck back some Coronas.
yeah. Well, he doesn't drink, but
Yeah,
he,
we did.
everyone else.
That was an old mate was there. Never didn't he not show up to the seminar? The next
Jesse
day?
Taylor.
Jesse Taylor. Yeah.
Yes, Dan.
I've done a Jesse Taylor seminar.
Was that the Crown? Didn't he like?
Nah, that was at the gym. He was
Yeah.
so baked.
Yeah, didn't he like not show up?
I swear, wasn't he staying? He was staying north of the river, and I'm pretty sure he walked from. One day he walked from Willerton.
It's home.
He was staying
Yeah,
at-
he did. Yeah,
Yeah,
He's one of my favourite follows on Instagram.
he was telling me he walked, and I was
Yeah,
like,
he's shadow boxing and stuff. Like any place,
boots,
any time.
like,
It's like Gucci.
So funny.
It wasn't that one where he was supposed to stand up. He stayed at the casino the whole time.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, that's a guy that I've known him for a long time, and he doesn't give a flying fuck about much.
Yeah. Like, people were asking him your story to even get into Canada. Hey, it
Tell
hasn't
the
been
people.
much. How many planes did you have to catch and boats?
Yeah, I couldn't fly direct to Canada, so and I can get into the US pretty easily. So I went to LAX, and then I went to Washington DC, and then I went to a beautiful place called Plattsburgh, New York.
What made it so beautiful?
Basically, we chose Plattsburgh, New York, because it was half an hour from the border. So it was like half an hour from the border, then the border was like half an hour to Montreal. And so, yeah, I got the Uber to the border, and the Uber was a bit sketched out about.
Because you're in the boot.
I was like, just drive through the border, and he was a bit like, no, I'll get you close, like you'll be able to see it, and then you can just walk in and just pretend you're a car. And I was like, what do you mean?
Pretend you're a car.
He's like, I was like, in my head it was like a government building. I'd walk into the government building, and then they let me through, but it's literally like just boom gates, yeah. And he was like, just walk. There's no like walk through like you're a car, and then someone will wave you down. And I was like, alright. So like I had all my stuff. I basically like I traveled just tactical. I had a bag on, shoes ready to go, and then. I had a shovel ready to dig a tunnel, but I was like walking, like there was a couple cars like in a couple of lines. I just walked, and then the bloke just popped his head out, like waved me through, and he was literally like, I gave him my passport. He's like, oh yeah, what are you doing? Going to UFC Montreal. Oh yeah, it's cool. When are you leaving? Tuesday. Oh yeah. Do you have any guns in the bag? No guns. Do you have any alcohol in the bag? No. Tobacco? No. And he's like, little bit of weed? And I was like, no weed. Left the weed. And then he was like, you're good. You can, basically, he was like, he showed me how I started walking off, and then he was like, oh, no, come back. You could go here. He showed me on his GPS where to go to the truck stop, and you can get an Uber from there. So I just went to the truck stop. Walked. I was obviously on cloud nine walking. I was in Canada.
I made it.
And then went into the truck stop. The truck stop guy, I was obviously went in. I was pumped. I was shadow boxing, and I was. He thought he's never met an Australian, but he obviously thinks we're all crazy. I think
That feeling of getting over the border
it
would
was
have been
pretty
great.
incredible.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I obviously wanted to like call all these boys, but I was like, it'd be better if I can just like get there and surprise them. So I Uber to Maudsley and Tim Simpson, and then surprise the boys, which was pretty incredible because these guys, it was like a couple of hours since I'd spoken to them. They knew I was making the journey over. And then it was like I hadn't spoken to them for a couple of hours. And it was like we were kind of expecting that when I got to the border that basically Maudsley thought I had like a pack of like how I was going to get in. And then we were expecting that I was going to be interviewed for a little bit. But it was easier than that. And we were straight through.
Far out. I've got not a similar experience, but I went from Armenia to Georgia, and they have this thing where you've got to walk, like physically walk this, like, I think it's like almost a kilometer, but I don't remember it being that long. And there's all towers, people with guns, and they make you just walk this stretch. It's so terrifying. And I had like this drone in my bag, which had been just the worst thing ever to take through to Iran. And this whole time I'm like, am I going to have dramas when I get to Georgia or whatever?
I forgot this drone.
Yeah. And oh man, and it goes from like Muslim to Christian. And like, so you've got to be all like, all the women have to be covered up. And then the second you get there, it's kind of, the relief, man. And I just remember one of the females there to my mum, she's like, oh, you can, I think she said, you can fuck that head thing off now. And like, and I was just like, man, this is epic. But like that not knowing thing, hey, like you must have been. Like,
it was good though. It was exciting. It's on the edge. It's a bit.
And what about getting out? Just sweet.
Well, getting out because getting out of Montreal, you don't actually, like I didn't have to do any Canadian border because it was like, I didn't have to do any Canadian immigration because when you leave Montreal, it's like US immigration. So you do US immigration in Montreal.
Yeah, okay.
And then just went to LA and that was all good.
Awesome.
Yeah, got out of that. It's cool. It was cool.
How
Man,
about you, Benny? You got out all right? You guys, you battled to China with Becca, didn't you?
Yeah, I was
Came
back
back.
home. I got home. We got out fine. I think we just had one delay on our last flight, which was freaking killing me. Like, sat on a window seat on a Virgin plane for 2 hours before we took off. But other than that, we had a pretty smooth journey home. No real long layovers or anything. And then I think I got back on a Wednesday and flew to China on a Saturday. Yeah.
oh, just realised I can't believe I'm not
Yeah,
wearing
I
my
was
Benny
thinking of
merch,
Benny
eh?
shirts, eh?
Damn, I forgot to wear
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to like get back, see, like suss Perth a little bit. Like I always like when we've been away, getting home. Like I feel like it's the first time you really get to properly soak in the victory. Like I feel like getting home is a massive part of that victory really sinking in. Because obviously my family weren't there or anything, so getting home, like, it was my best moments ever. Was Jack was kind enough to let me bring the replica belt home.
Yep.
So like walking through the door and opening my case and giving that to my kids and the missus, and like just trying to sort of atone in some way for all the time that you spend away from them. And they can understand probably later on when they see that picture, like what it was all about. And the dream we've all been chasing, and we got to have a nice, when we were all back in the gym after China, we had a nice morning. We brought the wives in, the kids that weren't in school. And we got to give some shine to the partners that have like been left alone to hold down the fort for the last decade, you know. We've all got long-term partners. So, you know, we understand that, and we may not be good at showing it sometimes because we're very focused on our goals, but they do a lot for us, you know, looking after the fort while we're away and stuff. So it was nice to have them in and let them understand what we're doing and see how close we all are. It's not just like a bunch of dudes messing around. Like, we're fully invested in each other and this shit. And it's been really, really cool just to see. Like, the most coolest thing for me is seeing how much it means to Perth and WA. And like, I really feel like WA gets behind its own, and the overwhelming outpouring of support from everybody that I've ran into so far has been freaking amazing. And I think I know I speak for myself, but I think we enjoy representing. Like, we are WA boys. Like, I'm the only one not born here, but I know Ryan was born in Wales as well. But I consider myself a West Australian, and I love representing that. And I think we do West Australia. You know, we don't try and be anything else. We just some lads from Perth that Jack enjoys kicking the shit out of people, and we enjoy watching. You know? Like Ian Garry in the corner. But
that was the best call, by the way.
But yeah, it's so good to like be able to represent Perth, because I fucking love this place, man. Yeah. And that's been the best part.
Yeah. And Perth feels it like Perth, like, I don't know, is such the whole gym. It's so easy to love you guys and get behind you. Like, just seeing you just go about your business, and there's no sort of edge to any of us, no ego. It's just freaking incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Humble killers.
Who like beautiful violence is like this.
Yeah, beautiful violence. That's where it's at. And
But
Jack's the best exhibitor of beautiful violence I've ever seen.
And you're just getting started, eh?
100%.
How good's having Volk and you like as Australian champs? It's insane having two belts, and you even hear like it like lights the flame for like Whitaker. Whitaker's talking about how it's inspired him. He wants to like get a title. It's pretty cool, man. Like, you see, there's a real insane amount of talent coming through.
Quillen, man, he's on this weekend, eh?
Oh, is he this weekend? And I saw Urstig's got another fight. August, was he announced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Alex Perez, I think. Is it Perez? Something like that.
Do you feel like your life's changed a bit? Like, I know you don't like doing too much media, but now you're fucking a gun. You're like Dennis Cometti on the mic.
No, not really, to be honest. It was like, just slowly getting back into the normal routine. But definitely like getting back. There was a lot of buzz, but yeah, keen to just get back into it. And next challenge, I can't wait.
Did you do New York? Did someone say you did the
Yeah,
Today Show or something? Well, I know you went to New York with the family, but I know you did Aerial, but then someone was saying you were going to do the morning show in New York or something.
Nah, not in New York. I just did Aerial in New York.
What was
but
that
we
like?
were just, it was cool. We weren't going to do Aerial, we were just going, and then Tim sort of said you should do Aerial, and I thought that'd be pretty cool to actually go see him. But yeah, New York was awesome. We had a good time. It was sick.
How was the kids traveling?
They were actually all right. I wasn't actually with them on the flights, but they were fine. Like, I think Franco was just stoked. He was just to watch me. I think he just like literally slept most of it and then just watched movies for the rest of it. So he was stoked, and then the baby was just slept most of it. So it was pretty.
So good.
Yeah,
and we're gonna be neighbours soon.
Yeah,
Let's go.
2 weeks.
Do you reckon that Ian Garry comment was fucking so funny? Like, and I saw the comments. Everyone was like, "Man, that Canadian crowd slept on that." It was such a good burn.
You couldn't really like, if you watch back that, you couldn't really hear the crowd like in the press conference things. I don't know, like, I feel like if you watch it back, you can't actually hear how loud the fucking crowd's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
they knew
Because the mics are so good. That was like the Perth one. I remember you couldn't hear a thing.
You can't hear, and you're like, oh, there's like
In
no
real
one
life.
here, but like there was fucking people going nuts at that thing.
Yeah.
And like you can hardly hear, like I couldn't hear
You can hardly hear the
Belal.
question
I couldn't
either.
hear Belal and Jack talking. Like you can just sort of like hardly
Yeah,
hear
I
them.
couldn't
and just
hear what
crowd's
Belal
going
said.
nuts. So.
Yeah.
There was a couple times Belal went to talk and the crowd just like drowned him out, and I couldn't hear him. But then obviously you can fully hear it on the actual watching it.
Yeah.
Where did Dana go? Did Dana call you? You were on the phone to Dana, right? Was that when you guys were speaking? Was it Dana or Hunter after?
Oh yeah, it was.
Did he
Dana
just
and
bail?
Hunter
Because he didn't do the
straight
post
after.
conference.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he going to go sort shit out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he did a conference though.
No, he didn't. I remember then I saw you guys probably. He was on the phone and you guys were saying like Perth, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, they must be stoked from a company point of view when you got to fight a champ who actually will fight anyone.
Yeah.
Because like obviously at the moment there's a hold up at John Jones and
Like if
Aspinall.
someone
It's
like
refreshing
Princess
having
gets
someone
the
who goes,
title,
let's go. Like Volker. They love have Volker.
Yeah.
Izzy were always like, let's go.
Yeah, that's why I probably got the shot, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause they could have given it to anyone. When the Belal Shavkat fight pulled out. So I reckon that's why I got it. They were just keen.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect. Everything, the whole, like we were talking about it before, how it felt like a fairy tale, like all the pieces, the way everything's fallen, it just got you to that point. And then you just took care of business.
That's even cool how Tim is from Perth as well.
Yeah.
Like no one would be more proud than him. Like for
Yeah.
you guys, like a manager who's been doing it. He's like worked his ass off to get to where he got to.
Yeah, he's good at what. Yeah, he's really good at what he does. He's good with like PP. Yeah, he's just good at what he does.
Timmy Deals.
Yeah, Timmy Deals.
And then he got
Just,
Mords, like another Aussie fella, like former
yeah.
pro surfer, Thai boxer, black belt in jiu-jitsu, lawyer, which is always handy to have. So they're the dream team in terms
So
of
former
management.
pro surfer.
Yeah.
Was he?
As
When he
Yeah,
was young,
yeah.
when he was young.
No way.
Yeah.
Was he doing like the cage announcing as well? At
Yeah, he
Eternal
was the
back in
MC
I
for
remember-
Eternal,
yeah.
commentator. He's a real knowledgeable guy about MMA. Good to have around. He can train. You know, if like Jack needs a roll, he can roll. He's good standard.
Is he from? He's not from Perth originally, though, eh? Is he
Sunny Coast.
Sunny Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. It's got like a strong Australian connect.
It's a proper Aussie crew.
Yeah, it is a full
Except for
crew.
me. But I'm an Aussie.
Yeah, you're
I have an Australian passport.
Well, everyone was
Craig
saying,
Jones, Aussie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, it was a real represent for Australia, that one. It was like just full Australian team.
Adam Jones, Craig's brother, actually messaged saying, "Ask Ben why his feet couldn't touch the floor when we did an interview on his
Because
podcast."
I'm fucking tiny. They put me in the middle like a ventriloquist dummy on this fucking couch.
He's tall too, eh?
He's 6'7", or so. He's fucking ginormous. He's coming over actually soon. I said he should jump on the pod. He's a big like bodyboarding guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a legend, eh? Seems like a lad.
He's a good guy. Yeah. I'll line him up for when he comes up.
How's Becca gone?
Yeah, we saw him this morning. He's good. He's just like working through it. It's tough, you know, but he's a tough guy, and he's got resilience that would, you know, that would go with, you know. I don't know many more resilient than him. He's been through so much, you know, and he's learned how to not sort of wrap his whole identity around fighting. So that's helped him a lot. But you know, he's still sad. He's disappointed. You know, he didn't get the job. It's easy to sit back and say, "I don't worry about it too much," but no one can take the pain away of that. And it's
Yeah.
just going to take time for that to lessen, and it's always going to hurt, that one.
Did that series wrap up?
This goes into the semi-finals now.
It hasn't been on yet.
That'll be August.
Oh, that far away. Yeah.
It
okay.
runs over the year.
Yeah.
I think they do the finale on a UFC card.
Yeah.
So, still got some Australian representation in that. So Don Mar fans still in the lightweight tournament did really well. So get behind him now.
Yeah.
You know, the eternal lightweight champ.
Is he out of Volk's gym?
No, he's from Compton, so a really good gym out of Brisbane.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of good fighters.
Oh, yeah, and Sebastian. He's
Seb,
from
yeah.
Sebastian,
Seb, so they had a great performance, you know. Didn't quite get the finish, but like outclassed the dude that he was fighting. So, yeah, we've still got some.
And sorry, Kit Campbell.
Kit
He did well,
annihilated
Yeah.
the dude that he was put up against, you know. So
That was a quick one.
it's good for Kit, like someone who's an OG, who's been around the game forever and always just sort of fallen short when push came to shove, for him to get his shot like that and just devastate the guy. Like, you fight what's put in front of you, and he dispatched that guy like he was nothing, you know. So hopefully it opens up some opportunities for him internationally, because he is a guy that deserves it, you know. And I would have loved to promote him a little bit more, because I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the opportunity. But he did great, and it was good to hang out with them. It was like cool for us to like be a little Anzac crew. None of them were fighting each other. Aaron Tao was over there. You know, it was good to like go down to breakfast, see all the boys. You know, you feel a bit like home away from home sort of thing.
Yeah. How did you like China as a country?
I enjoyed it. Like, I think we get sold a bit of a bum steer about what China actually is.
That's like Iran. I was talking about before. Same sort of deal.
I think like the people are super happy. You know, they have affordable housing, affordable food, affordable healthcare. I think luxury items are expensive. Like, you want a nice pair of trainers, you're going to pay for it. But as long as you don't want to say what you feel about the government, I think you're all right. Do you know what I mean? But that's the only drawback for me. Like, it's very clean. Everything looks well maintained. Like,
Is the food good?
yeah, but I ate mostly Western food, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like, and I ate the PI a lot because it was cheap.
Yeah.
And good. But I liked, once I got out, like, it's very hard. Like, you can't use your cards in most shops, and you have to have these apps. But once you get everything sorted and you get Google Translate fired up, it's pretty easy. And the people are super friendly. They want to help you. Like, they don't want you to have a shit time. You know what I mean? So once you get everything going, yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I'm really glad that, you know, unfortunately, we didn't get the result we wanted, which sours the trip, obviously. But I had a great week with Jack. He's awesome, human, and it was just good to be on another adventure. Like, these are all adventures for us. We're just like lucky enough and blessed enough that this is our job, but it's really just traveling the world with your mates and having a scrap at the end of it, which I used to do and get in a lot of trouble for, but now I get to
pay to do it.
Now, yeah, exactly. So,
Do you boys, Joshy and Ryan, coming back from Montreal, do you feel like full invigorated to like get stuck back in? Like all of you as a team, obviously, like you're onto your next goal, but as coaches, are you like, fuck yeah, like Jack's done this, but now we've got our eyes on this, and even some of the other
keep
athletes
pushing. That's like, I think you can't dwell on the last fight for too long, whether you're dwelling on a loss or you're like fucking thinking you're the man because you've won a fight. You got to sort of move on and then look to the next thing. I think that's what these guys are so good at doing, like just pushing to the next thing. But it does, like, coming back from a trip like that when you guys done so well, it does pump you up. But then it's like the same thing. It's like pumps you up, and then the next week, we watch Becca, and it's like the next guy loses. So it's like ups and downs, but it's like you can't dwell on it for too long. You just got to get back to the gym and like what got Jack to this point is like being at the gym and training, like, and to think that he's at this point then and now he can take it easy is like the wrong. Yeah, it's hard. It's the wrong way to look at it.
it's fucking incredible that thing is here.
That is incredible.
but it's also, you're not surprised,
But deserved and unsurprised. But yeah, it's still mad to see it. Like,
has all the flags on today. Let's see.
there's no Aussie one on there though. We need to get that sorted.
I think there is actually.
Is there?
Yeah, I reckon one of them is.
The colours, it's like hard to work
Same as
out,
the US kind of, eh? The colours of the flag.
Yeah, it's
Man.
been
They
years.
give you-
Like,
they
when
give
did
you
we
a
do
new-
the first potty?
Man, I was looking, I think it was like 2019, 2008, 19, I think.
Yeah,
Talking
5
about
years ago.
this.
That was like eternal.
before Van Alden maybe.
And then Mo done another one where you just on Eternal, then you had Contender coming up. So we've done a fair few. That's what was spinning me out in there. I know, like, it gets sentimental, but we were standing there and you're talking about going to Contender Series, and then now you're holding the belt like 4 years later
Yeah,
at the top of the world in the UFC. Like, it's no fucking easy feat, man.
yeah, it's really just the beginning though, you know.
It is, yeah.
Big fights. Yeah.
That Islam fight's going to be sick. That's
yeah, tough fight.
for him. That's one where you got it. That's a bucket list try fly over for that, eh?
What's that?
If that Islam that gets announced, that's October. That's a good excuse for a birthday. I'm October.
Yeah, do the US pod.
That would be so.
We can get Whitey documenting our trip because we're all useless at filming anything.
Yeah, you got to keep Ben Bennett going for sure.
We do have.
We've
Ben
got some
Bennett
stuff,
as we
eh?
come in.
And when you put up, I love whoever was in charge of as soon as you won and put up how to beat Belal.
Yeah, that was clever.
That was smart, getting that straight up.
Yeah.
But their YouTube series, that's where you see Volk, like every athlete, or a lot of the fighters, it's a good avenue just to continue the revenue and give people a little look in where you want to see them pump up the profile.
Yeah,
But it takes a lot of time, doesn't
I don't
it?
think Jack's ever going to be like Volk and have a cameraman following him around every day. Like, Volk's committed to that, and he's got like a good channel and all that kind of stuff. But we spoke about it while
Little
we were
drips and
away.
drabs.
Yeah, and I think if we just give like just enough to keep people interested and give them a little bit of information about what happens behind the scene. But like we said, we always want to try and stay like out of the spotlight as much as possible, because fuck this, it's a jungle out there.
I'm such a sucker for all the content leading up to a fight week. Like, I just started watching ones for this next pay-per-view. I don't know what it is. I just love watching. I think because it's happening across the world and you know it's current. Like, they film it and it comes out.
Yeah.
It's just weird. You get to see people like before these massive fights. And
I actually reckon the sport does it better than any other sport, really.
Yeah.
From I constantly, obviously, I'm in cricket, and I'm constantly on why are people not leaning on what boxing and UFC and that do well.
Yeah.
Because you get invested in the athlete by watching them, like
Correct.
seeing you boys train a scrappy and then seeing you're at the beach with your family. There's a buy-in there. Whereas, like, if you don't know the basketball player or the cricketer, you're like, well, I'm not that invested.
yeah,
I think it's what
UFC
UFC
fucking
do
good.
best. Yeah. They're like the way they build their athletes up, and they give you the insight. Like, most people, everyone sees the fight. Everyone's seen a million fights. It's behind the scenes. What is Jack doing that week? Like, what is he doing before he fights? Remember that dude, your client that came in, Josh, Mark, and he was like, we were all just sitting watching TV, and he went, what the fuck are you cunts doing? And I was like, what do you mean? He went, we got a world title fight coming up. I was like, well, what do you want us to do? It's not until Saturday. So he was
Is that in Canada?
yeah, he was just blown
He was
away.
like confused because we were all just like chilling. He was like,
Like do more kind of thing.
like pump up, like, what do you just do, relax, like.
Dude, even when you went on the
Because people must expect that you're just in the gym.
Just in the
fucking
gym.
yeah,
hyping
yeah.
yourselves up.
or even like
We were just like shadowboxing, punching the wall or something. Like,
but the the embedded
You need that guy on Ben better, that.
that embedded one with your mate's Philly cheese or his cheese Philly steak.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that made me like want to make. Oh, that sucked me into making Philly cheese steaks. Like, and that's good promo for him when the
Yeah,
UFC
that
put
was
something
cool.
that up.
Yeah, because it's sort of hard. Yeah, because embedded come and then they're like, what are we gonna do today? I was like, fuck it. Not that exciting. I was just gonna go to the gym and then shit, like not much, just hang out with the kids. So I just have to like figure out what to do.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna go get a feed at his place anyway. I was like, just come along.
good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks sick.
yeah, that's perfect for him. It's
Yeah,
cool.
100%.
It worked out well. Sick.
Think about like the views, like when McGregor in absolute trailblazing, all those embeddeds went nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's cool.
Jack plays avoid the embedded cameras. They'd like message me every morning, like, what are you doing today? And I'm like, Jack, what are we doing today? He was like, oh, maybe just don't tell him.
Send him on goose chase.
I'm like, I can't wait for fucking Tim to be here so that he can take over.
As soon
Putting
as
off the
Jack,
embed.
as soon as you fought, he had the bell. The doctor's going, is your arm sore? Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. And then he's like, yeah, you've cleared. And then Jack goes, can you not clear me? And he's like, what? He's like, I don't want to do media. Can you see my eyes? And then Tim's like, you can't not do media.
We got
You got the bell, you idiot.
we got away with it in Miami, obviously, but Jack just came out and none of the managers were there. And Jack came out and went, I'm not doing any media. And I was like, sweet, let's fucking go, man. And we just got on the bus and went home. And he said it to me again this time.
It wasn't even.
But
an
Tim
option. It
and
wasn't
Dan were there this time because Jack was like, I don't want to do any media. I was like, sweet, let's get the fuck out of it. I'm always gonna like back Jack in if he wants. But
Literally the last thing I
suits,
wanted to do at that point.
the suits got hold of us this time.
And is it also the amount of media you're forced to do beforehand? It kind of jades you because
pretty much. I think that's what it's just all the media leading up, and then at the end of it, you're just like, I'm over this. Like, just want to fight.
yeah,
And then when the fight's over, it's like, shit, you still have to do a bit more.
you've got to like literally do it as you're walking out almost.
Yeah,
hey?
pretty much. You
And
just
then-
see the doctor, and then there was just like 3 interviews. It was only 3 interviews, and then the media scrum thing. But so it wasn't too bad. It was like an hour.
yeah.
So it was all right. It was all right.
you had to do it because Dana was like, I'm not doing it. Like when Jack
So how
and
does
Dana.
Dana not do it?
Yeah.
He's the boss.
true,
eh?
hey?
Yeah.
He's on a private flight to get home for Mother's Day. Hey?
Yeah.
That's what I saw. Yeah, but I guess he had the excuse of like if Belal had won, they probably were going to announce other fights straight up. But then when Jack won, it probably like threw a bit of a spanner in their work. So they were like, shit.
Yeah.
Almost.
The perfect spanner.
Yeah.
He's the boss. He can do what he likes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fuck. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in. It's like, I know you've got a busy schedule.
Cheers,
Yeah,
boys.
it's so good.
Have to make
Onwards and
this
upwards as well, boys. Just
part
the
of the
beginning.
tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
Do you think, because obviously I've seen you like on the news, like doing a bunch of media. Do you feel like this is just around being home only for a few weeks, or do you feel like it's going to be ongoing like that?
I don't know. I guess it will be more. I think it will be more ongoing. I guess but I guess that's just the thing. If you're the champion, you sort of are you're the top. So I guess it'll be more like I'll have to do a bit more. I think.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
And then obviously if a fight gets announced and then it all just starts
And
again,
then
hey?
yeah, I'm sure it'll be a bit. Obviously, the next one will be even more media.
That'll be
as the
crazy.
fight, yeah,
That'll
it'll
be
be
one of the
big,
most
but-
anticipated fights ever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be,
Yeah, a big fight for the year.
it's gonna be so
that
sick.
pay per view?
Yeah, he's beatable though, 100%.
Definitely beatable.
Definitely. I see.
He's never fought a welterweight, has he ever?
No. Or maybe I don't know about when he's younger. Maybe when he was younger, I'm not sure.
I saw it.
But his whole UFC career's been lightweight.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was him, but I saw footage of him punching a bag. It was either him or a look-like, but he did look bigger already.
Yeah,
If
he'll,
Good luck,
he'll be
good luck
puffy. I
getting
reckon.
big and having to try and get get used to using
It's
it.
hard
because
to get, you blow
being
the
heavy,
muscles up. It's
like,
like
yeah.
those muscles,
He hasn't got a
blowing
long
muscles
time,
up.
you know?
It's like they need blood. So it's like the opposite if you're in an MMA fight. You're just going to fill up with blood.
And
Yeah.
he'll be holding on like in the fight.
He has to
He'll be
hold on
holding
and
on.
he-
yeah,
and he's
so if he's
obviously
like build his
tired.
muscles up to try and get bigger and hold them on. It's like
He'll get tired.
He's obviously an exceptional fight too, but like that Volker one fight was fucking
Yeah.
close, and Poirier and him had a good scrap as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it was Luke Thomas or someone. I could be completely wrong, but I swear they said
Love him,
he's
mate.
never had. Yeah, but this is a lot. No, but I swear they said he's never had a welterweight fight ever. Like even
Yeah,
in his
it-
amateurs,
yeah.
I think
I don't
he's
think-
lightweight.
yeah, I
Is
don't
that a
think it
different ball
matters.
game going up 15 pounds, whatever it is?
yeah,
Surely.
for sure.
Yeah, you got to expect he'll be strong, best shape, but he's beatable for sure. I think he's
Takes damage.
definitely beatable. He
Gets
takes
tired.
damage.
You know, he's not been in a bunch of hard fights. You know, he
Yep.
normally just dispatches of people quickly. So it'd be good for Jack to drag him into the deep waters and put some damage on him and see how he feels about it.
Yeah,
Get a new imprint on that knee. Got Burns one side, Belal the other.
Yeah, you got both knees.
You have to use the fin technique. Straight in the middle. Like, oh.
And you've got obviously a great corner here, and then you obviously got Volker. Volker's experience to lean on.
yeah, for
He's been
sure.
in,
And Craig as well.
Yep.
I don't think enough gets said about Craig. I mean, I think people think he's flying around the world for loads of money, like training Aussie MMA fighters. He does it all for free.
Yeah,
Like he does it because he wants to do it, and like I think people need to take notice of what Craig has chosen to do for Australian MMA, and
yeah,
he's a great asset to MMA. His grappling is he makes things up on the spot, so no one else is going to have seen it before because he'll make moves up just for Jack, you know, in certain circumstances and stuff like that. So
yeah.
it's cool having Craig, you know, another Aussie, just leading the way and trailblazing jiu-jitsu around the world and jumping in, and I'm sure we'll spend a bit of time with him in the lead up to this next scrap.
Yeah. He's got that Gable dude, hey, he's fighting. I saw
Yeah.
he's getting into MMA. That's pretty nuts.
Oh, yeah, Gable's still.
Yeah, I
wrestling.
just saw it.
That's
Marab
pretty
on the one of the new embeddeds or
Wow.
whatever. He's training with him, and he's saying he's transitioning.
cool.
To, yeah.
Marab or Sugar this week.
Whoa. It would be one of them holy shit moments if Sugar wins. that they talk about.
It's a tough style to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
No, I think Marab's going to do it, but I love both. But I wouldn't mind a holy shit moment and Sugar getting the belt back.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But Marab, I love. He equally is likable. So,
Yeah.
what do you boys think? You're the experts.
I reckon O'Malley will get him, eh?
Hell
I
yeah.
reckon he'll knock him out at some point.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. It'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be Marab will just roll him.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at picking fights. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
When's Eternal next?
June 21 on the Goldie, and then June 28 in Perth. And we just opened a new gym on the Sunshine Coast. So if any of your boys,
Yeah, I already
We're
got a
over
message.
there.
Jake was messaging.
I'll be over there from the 13th to about the 21st. No, the 20th in Sunny Coast. Then I'll head down for. So if anyone wants to come and train, I'm doing a seminar Saturday morning, the 14th, 9 o'clock. In Maroochydore, details on Oasis Fight Academy Insta, but that's open to everyone. So if anyone wants to pop in, say hi, be cool to see everyone over there. And yeah, the new gym's it's like our East Coast branch. You know,
Yep.
it's got a different name,
Affiliate
but
gym.
John Fraser is the sort of the main MMA coach, and they've done a lot of sparring with Jack and training with Jack. And he's like one of our extended gym family, so it's cool to have a little place over there that I'm looking forward to getting over to. And it's kicked off. There's about 50 members. Day one was yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So get down there while you can, because it's not a big spot.
Yeah.
So get in while you can. And I look forward to seeing some of the Sunny Coast crew next week.
so that's coming right up.
Yeah, a week on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
That's
Yeah, sweet.
Shout out to Hudballs in the Southwest bodyboarding.
Did he
club.
win that?
Yeah, he won it. Gas was pumping. James Few did well. It was Few boys. So apparently it was going off. Hey, did you hear about that?
I just saw a photo of the finalists.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
but
who
yeah.
won.
Shout out to them. They reckon they wanted to give us a little mention.
Yeah,
Let
sweet.
the people be known.
And Jack, just before we head off, what intensity is your training looking like at the moment? Like, are you gonna
I'm
be able
pretty real low intensity.
to- so you can come for a surf?
Yeah,
Swell?
yeah. Just been doing a little bit of weights. And,
Ben lets you?
yeah.
Shaq
nah,
Della.
You're free now for a few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm keen to start getting in the water this winter,
Yep.
surfing a bit more.
come down to the right.
Yeah.
We still got to have that 2v1 as well, Whitey.
What's that?
We still got to verse him in that 2v1.
Oh, yeah.
That's for
First
the real
title
man.
defense against us.
It's 2 rubies.
I've seen Belal's toothache today. I'm like, I'm out.
Oh, awesome, boys. Well, yep. So good to see you. Thanks for coming in again. I know you guys are busy.
Cheers, boys. That's
Lay
sick.
up, bro.
Thank you.
Weapons.
That's good stuff.
Never in doubt.
No, not at all.
Look at this thing.
I'm on a lunch break. See you later.
Take your fucking photo somewhere else.
You're older than these guys! Oh, never fucking done it all!